Hello, I'm Sugyung-moon from the DTM Lab. Today, I'll be presenting a review of the paper titled Critical Success Factors in the Technology Commercialization Process. The DOI and keywords of this paper are as follows. The primary purpose of this study is to analyze the key success factors influencing technology commercialization through licensing, with a focus on SMEs. The outline of presentation is as follows. Licensing serves as an outbound channel of open innovation, through which licensors grant third parties or licenses the right to produce, modify, market, and sell specific technologies or products in exchange for predetermined compensation. In particular, some organizations have recognized the intrinsic value of R&D as an independent source of value and have adopted licensing as a major revenue stream. In previous studies, research gap has been identified in understanding the specific barriers SMEs face in adopting open innovation. Accordingly, this study aims to provide a dual approach that integrates the perspectives of both licensors and licensees on the key success factors of technology commercialization through licensing, thereby helping to understand the dynamics embedded in international licensing alliances among SMEs. The two perspectives are as follows. From the licensee's perspective, this study comprehensively examines various approaches to successful technology commercialization by analyzing the diverse strategies of licensees shaped by different organizational and market environments. And this study also focuses on the licensor's viewpoint to gain in-depth insights into the background, specific details, and outcomes of each licensing alliance. Ultimately, this study aims to identify the critical factors for successful technology commercialization through licensing, and the research questions are as follows. Technology commercialization is understood as a broad concept that encompasses the entire process from the planning stage to market entry through licensing. This study aims to integrate the 9 critical success factors into 4 comprehensive domains, namely knowledge, collaboration, organizational, and financial and strategic. First, knowledge encompasses both internal and external expertise related to technology commercialization. Under the knowledge factor, technology commercialization process emphasizes understanding the stages of technology commercialization, the technology life cycle, and the characteristics of each case. Second, collaboration is related to partner behavior and integrates 2 key elements. Relational issues focus on building effective partnerships through trust, partner compatibility, and open communication. Facilitators refer to key individuals such as innovation intermediaries and relationship managers who strengthen collaboration and improve organizational performance. Third, organizational encompasses managerial capabilities and integrates 3 key elements. People emphasize multidisciplinary teams with diverse expertise and strong commitment to commercialization projects. Leadership refers to leaders who have the willingness and capability to guide organizational change. Culture focuses on creating an environment that is open to change, innovation, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. Last, financial and strategic encompasses both economic and strategic dimensions. Resources refer to providing the human, financial, and the time resources needed for successful technology commercialization. Governance emphasizes clear roles, responsibilities, objectives, and effective project management. Strategy focuses on aligning technology commercialization with the organization's overall business strategy. The final classification of the key success factors is presented in Table 1. The purpose of this study is to identify the key success factors for technology commercialization through licensing, particularly for SMEs in an international context. To achieve this, the authors adopted a multiple case study approach. Since the purpose of this study is to capture diverse outcomes, including both successful and unsuccessful results in technology commercialization projects involving licensing, a maximum variation sampling strategy was used to ensure heterogeneity among the participating organizations. Among the 9 companies that licensed technology from Company L, 4 companies were selected using a stratified sampling approach to represent different technology commercialization experience and strategies. The licensor and the 4 selected licensees provided various datasets for the study, and their profiles are presented in Table 2 with their identities kept confidential. A triangulation approach was used by combining interviews, literature reviews, and field observations to ensure robust data collection. The interviews were conducted with both the licensor and the 4 selected licensees to capture both perspectives. And to improve the validity and reliability of the findings, the interview results were cross-validated using field observations and official company documents. Table 3 summarizes the data sources for each key success factor by licensee, reflecting the unique technology commercialization experiences of each company. The data were coded using the initial coding framework proposed by Miles and Huberman with the support of MaxQDA 2022 for qualitative data analysis. As a result, key factors were identified at the early stage of the research process and validated through a comprehensive literature review detailed in Section 2. And the coding of data primarily served to identify emergent patterns, particularly in the cross-case analysis phase of the research. Data analysis employed a dual approach that included both within case analysis and cross-case analysis, and each item in Table 4 is classified according to the corresponding key success factor. The following results are organized by licensee. Company I exemplified the effective implementation of all critical success factors delineated in this study, thereby setting a benchmark for best practices. Company T satisfied most of the critical success factors, with the main area for improvement being the technology commercialization process. Company G showed moderate success, performing well in relational issues, people, and culture, but showed weaknesses in the technology commercialization process, facilitators, and governance. Company M failed to satisfy any of the critical success factors, which ultimately led to the failure of its commercialization project. The main contributions of this study are as follows. First, leveraging existing collaborative relationships can improve licensing performance. Second, selecting partners that are open to innovation and have licensing experience can reduce trial and error during commercialization. Finally, successful technology commercialization requires dedicated personnel and a long-term investment strategy. However, this study also has several limitations. First, because the cases are limited to a specific industry, the findings may not be generalizable to other industries. Second, the small sample size of only 4 SMEs limits the representativeness of the results. Third, as a qualitative case study, the findings have limited objective validation and generalizability. Finally, since technological, market, and regulatory environments change rapidly, the findings should be applied with consideration of the timing and context. Thank you for listening.